And that's the sad part, because where it's going right now in Europe, and if it gets any worse, there's a good possibility that there could be a rumble. Now, I don't want to see that. I'm sure nobody else does. And that's kind of, they're blaming on population increase, they're blaming on this, the oil prices, blah, blah, blah. Well, wait a minute here. I remember when I was in school, yes, back in, where was I? We were living in Connecticut, and I was in 7th grade. And I remember, this is when the Challenger before Blastem exploded. Yeah, we watched it, and it was a sad moment. And I remember back then, they were telling us in school, in 20 years we're going to be depleting all the natural resources, no oil and all this. 20 years ago, yeah? I'm 40 years old. Yeah, that was almost 30 years ago. So now they're telling all this other jibber-jabber. So you see, what they're doing is they're manipulating the mind, and that's kind of wrong.
Well, not really. Okay, they want you to be prepared so you do the right things and don't really burn up the planet.
The problem is that they're preparing for their game. They're not preparing for what you should be doing, enjoying life and try to be, a good businessman, try to run your own business or build a company or whatever. What they're doing is they're taking away, yeah, and they're taking away from the working people. But unfortunately, they're doing it in a way where they're trapping us at the same time. Anybody that has a 9-to-5 job or a 13-hour shift job, like I do, it's not easy because you're running out of choices. And there's a lot of people that cannot find the jobs. Then they put out all these other little things here and there where, oh, we got lots of jobs here, all this. Yeah, where? You know what I mean? So then they complain about migration, world migration, all this. Well, it was all in their plan. Population, mixed blood, blah, blah, blah. So it's all part of a natural eco-cycle system. Then they concerned about Earth Day and all this other stuff, saving the planet, which is cool. I got nothing against that. But at the same time, let's be realistic. Look around how much trash we're wasting. How much are we actually saving? Then you look at the money aspect of it, recycling. Who really makes the money? So we buy the product, then we give it back. They recycle it, then they sell it back to us. So technically, we're paying for the product 2-3 times. You see? Plus, we get taxed on it. All right. So you really got to look at how this works, because really all they're doing is making money off money off money. Okay. And I think if they're smart enough to do that, then why create all this mayhem? You understand?
Yeah,
and I'm sure a lot of people out there, they can kind of relate to it. Maybe not understand me totally, but I'm sure other people out there would love to call and give you their opinion, because I'm sure they would say things that are a little bit more braver than I am.
Okay. Okay, in that case, what do you think about the Saudi court sentences female driver to 10 lashes? Now, if you've been watching some of the activity in Saudi, there's been a few females who are protesting the fact that they're not allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia, women, and they've been dressing up like men and driving around. Well, I guess one of them got caught. It says here, police usually stop female drivers, question them, and let them go after they sign a pledge not to drive again. But dozens of women have continued to take to the road since June in a campaign to break the taboo. That means so they can get their license. What do you think about that?
Well, interesting. I'm not surprised. It's kind of sad, but you also got to look at the situation there. Saudi, by the way, has also got, I think, 14 pence, which is 25 cents liter of fuel there. Top grade, yeah. But you also got to look at their way of life there. If they were dressing as men, they were breaking certain dare code, which is kind of wrong. That is kind of suspicious. So automatically, they were doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. So in that sense, what were their real reasons? What would my question be? Why were they doing it that way?
Well, they want to break. They want to drive in Saudi Arabia. The women want to drive, and that's why they're doing it. They can't drive cars.
I didn't realize women couldn't drive in Saudi.
No, they can't.
Oh, right. Well,
that's,
it's time for the sheikh to take off that towel and stop dressing like a woman and
Right. Give him 10 lashes for dressing like a woman, right?
Yeah. I mean, look at him. In one respect, yeah. I mean, you can't treat women like that, but yet they can buy up all this and they can do whatever. So I don't agree with that, no. Women should be allowed to drive.
Okay. You agree they should be allowed to drive, so.
Absolutely. They should be allowed to do a lot more things than they do in the world.
Hey, I got to get back on the show. I got 15 minutes left, and I got some things to do. So I enjoyed talking with you. I recorded this. I will probably.
Oh, great! All right, wonderful.
I will probably air it next week. So if you're listening, you can get to hear it play back, and I got to edit it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I enjoyed talking with you, and give us a call anytime. And, okay. And I'll catch you on the internet on the flip side.
All right, sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, you have a good day.
You too.
Okay.